motivating him, of course, to withstand the pressure and also get this one done.
Okay, no doubt about it. He's done 30 hours plus, and his target is to get as many as 50 hours under the belt, aimed at clipping the 56 hours record that stands with the Guinness Book of World Record. With 30 hours plus done, it's expected that in the early hours of tomorrow morning, he should have done about 58 hours, good enough to wipe off the 56 hours record and that is currently.
But in time, we're going to see it once again in Nukoya in trying to put up another record, of course, for Nigeria. So for me, we'll just keep our fingers crossed and look forward to see him, of course, getting to that 58 hours. I think from the
Guinness Book of Record. In Port Harcourt, there is a lady that is currently, in action, aimed at becoming the one with the longest chop of do I say tomatoes and other cooking materials at this point in time. Speak, yes. I remember having a visit yesterday to where this was going on, and it's hoped that she too will, a lady from Port Harcourt, will as well enter into the Guinness Book of Records as the one with the longest chop of tomatoes and onions. This is getting very interesting.
Very, very interesting, Mr. Siri.
And Guinness Book of Records is giving them a lot of attention because it takes a lot of long hours and preparation.
Yeah, they're really giving them a lot of attention. I think we've seen so many so many Nigerians, are trying to break 1 or 2 records as well. And this is another one, you just mentioned, talking about longest chop. I think Nigerians are trying to make themselves standard. They're trying to get themselves, of course, to the global scene, and that's what we're seeing at this point in time. I would, since Linda Bassi, actually put up that record, a lot of Nigerians, of course, are actually taking it upon themselves, to go all the way to make sure that they get the Guinness World Record certificate.
State only 48 hours ago. Wale was crowned African champion in October 2022, if you do remember, at the 14th edition of the tournament, which was held in Lusaka, Zambia, where Nigeria also stamped our authority, winning the 13th title among 10 participating countries. This is cheering. Scrabble doesn't look to be very popular in sports here in Nigeria, but individuals are beginning to give it the prominence it deserves on the continent.
Yes, I think from what we've seen at this point in time, you take a look at it, the Scrabble Federation, they are not coming up with different events, of course, to really give the sport, that much popularity or that much, visibility that, the players at this point, look at for, just like what we're talking about chess now. You've seen Onukayo is taking chess, of course, to another level by trying to break, Guinness World Record. And from what we've seen at this point, Wale is also one man who has taken it upon himself in Scrabble to go all the way in making sure that if we take a look at it, one of the shining lights, when it has to do with Scrabble, of course, in the country. One thing we expect from him at this point in time is just that high level of consistency, because we see players maybe in federations like this, Scrabble, chess, and the rest, coming up to this height, and at the end of the day, you don't see them, of course, living up to expectation, going forward. For me, I think the Scrabble Federation should give him the necessary support, even the sport ministry as well. I think these are areas that, we should be looking forward to in sport development. When we see a player, come up like this, I think the sport ministry should do whatever they can to make sure that they push the player, of course, to a very great height. When it has to do with global competition, if we participate, if was,
non-professionals, we see clubs partake in this one as well. Let's quickly go to tennis now, and the 4th National Table Tennis Championship scheduled to hold from the 22nd of April to 20 promises to be thrilling. Tennis here in Nigeria seems to have lost momentum after some time, but with what we have seen at the African Games that was concluded in Accra, Ghana a few days ago, there are a lot of reject interest in the sports. Kingsley, where do we go from here?
I think we still have a lot to do when it has to do with table tennis, in the country. Performance at the All African Games, was not that top-notch, wasn't top-notch at all. Aruna Quadri as well, they naturally live up to expectation. We saw the Egyptian, the likes of Omar Sarr, and the rest of the Egyptian table tennis players, dominating that particular one. We've not really seen the best so far. I think table tennis in the country.
Talk about Haruna Quadri. He's been around for over 3 decades, and we are hoping that the national youth champion like Matthew Kuti, Amadi Ume, we've seen others like Bisola Asaju as well. Can they really, take over from the likes of Haruna Quadri and his female counterpart as well?
Yeah, I think that's what we should be looking at this point. For Matthew Kuti, he has been on the scene, for a very short while, and we're still monitoring. We're still looking at his level of performance, as it is. We've not really seen that, he's not been that, sparkling. But we've seen,
home support as they are set to be part of the 2024 Davis Cup African Group 2 qualifying rounds after the country secured the rights to host the event. Kingsley, host country Nigeria for the 2024 Davis Cup competition. We see the likes of Ghana, Rwanda, hosting this competition in the past. Now it is the turn of Nigeria. Can we come to the fore at this Davis Cup competition?
And we hope that we actually put up a very, very top-notch organization in this one.
Nigeria, no doubt, doing our best, and we hope that they would continue with that best form at the hosting of the 2024 Davis Cup here in Abuja, and of course the players themselves will use the opportunity as well, to improve on their classification as they go ahead in the qualification for Group 2, which will be staged in Abuja. Kingsley, but again, is it an indication that with Nigeria hosting the event, it will confirm our status, as that's a continental power in the sports?
Yeah, it will, but first of all, we have to look at how the organization is going to pan out. We take a look at the fact that, we saw what happened in Ghana a few weeks ago, that they hosted the African Games. Top-notch organization, despite the fact that the Ghana economy was actually in crisis. In hosting this particular one, and that is when, of course, we can be recognized as one of the powerhouse, when it has to do with, sports like this. Without that, there will be no means. We understand how things are being done in Nigeria when it comes to organization. Even sometimes we find it difficult to even host our own national Olympic, which is the national sport festival. But we hope that this particular one, that the sport ministry, with the help of John Waneno, who has been working tirelessly, they'll be able to put things right at this point in time. If things are being done properly and we have a successful Davis Cup down